Tele. Why is it the perfect instrument? So, a lot of reasons. So, I came about the Tele, or at least starting to play the Tele in a roundabout way. Like many people growing up, you know, I associated the Tele primarily with one genre of music, which was country. So the Tele twang. Growing up, I didn't know players like Jimmy Page played this thing on rock albums. I didn't know jazz guitarists like Ed Bickert used a Tele. I just didn't know that Tele was that use of a guitar. You know, I saw Stratocasters growing up. I was a Hendrix guy. I was a Clapton guy. And ironically enough, I never really gravitated towards Stratocasters. I think I've owned one or two Stratocasters my whole life, and none of them have I owned for any length of time. So I'm not a Strat player per se. So from that perspective, I grew up liking acoustic guitars and really arch tops. Those were my dream guitars. Gibson, humbucker, 175s, Super 400s. That was my dream. If I could own that, I'd be all set. And if I could play like Wes Montgomery, I'd be all set. So that was growing up. And then as I got older, I think I played my first Tele, really played my first Tele, I don't know, maybe about, 5-6 years ago, really, to be honest with you. I learned of the primary reason why I liked it, which is versatility. It is perhaps the most versatile instrument that you can own. Everybody needs a Tele. And what you find out is that a lot of studio musicians have Teles. They've played on a lot of recordings with Teles because it's that versatile. They carry that stuff around. If they have a jazz gig, they can get that replicated 175 sound. You got a rock gig, they can get anything out of, Charvel, old-style sound. They can get, just a lot of different sounds out of this one guitar. So the versatility from rock, jazz, to country, chicken picking, to heavy metal, to even fingers. I play a lot of fingerstyle off of this stuff. So versatility to me, which is the number one reasons why I love Teles. Another reason why I like Teles is the simplicity of the instruments. One of the things I find is that if something is too complicated, I'm like a plug and go guy. I don't use a lot of pedals. I own pretty much one amp, even though I have a lot of guitars, Hendrickson. Now I have two amps. One of them is a Hendrickson, and the other one is the Lange tube amp. So I'm into simplicity, which is I need a good cable and a good amp and my fingers, and the rest is going to sound like what it's going to sound like. So simplicity is very key to me, and the Tele kind of fits that bill. It's a very simple instrument. Like this one, this Baja that I'm playing, or this Chris Fleming custom, it's a little bit more, I would say, souped up, but typical Tele. This has 4-position, and it's also got the S1 switch and all this other stuff. But pretty much in most Teles, and even this Tele, I'm pretty much using it like most Teles. You got a neck position, you got a middle position, and you got what a lot of guys call the sweet spot of Teles, which is their bridge position thing where they're playing lead and they're chicken picking, and I'm starting to like that sound a lot. So the simplicity of the instrument itself, pretty much, got Nashville Teles and S1 switches and all sorts of stuff and 4-way switches that try to make it sound like a humbucker. But at its core, it's a 3-position kind of thing. You got your fat tone on the neck, boom, dial that stuff in, and you can get some jazz. You go to the bridge or the middle position, you got some funk. Put it in the bridge position, put some, some distortion on that, you got your metal. Very, very simple. Nothing complicated, nothing, out of the ordinary. So you got the versatility and you got the simplicity. The other thing I like about Teles is the durability of the instrument, okay? So growing up, I loved arch tops, and once I started owning some high-end arch tops, man, if you own solid wood guitars, you better hydrate those things, make sure it's humidified. I think one of my first really nice guitar that I had that was all solid wood was when Eastman first came out. I used to call it the Eastman, the poor man's Benedetto, and I bought like an 810 CE. I had that thing, and it was kind of like trick or treat. Depending upon the weather, I would open it up, and I wasn't very good about putting humidifiers and keeping it humidified. It would just, the wood would shrink, expand, contract, and it was just like trick or treat how the thing would sound. When it sounded nice, it sounded beautiful, but when it didn't, Man, solid instruments, you better know how to, basically take care of them. And I'm finding that out with my cello and stuff like that. So basically, like I said, the durability of the instrument. So you got the versatility, you've got the durability that I'm just talking about, and obviously the simplicity of the instrument. So those are three of the main reasons why I love Teles. I mean, I still love my archtop, and to a certain extent, I even like, say, this thing. I like it because it's not even all solid wood. Sounds good acoustically, but it's laminate wood, so it doesn't, have all the effects of that stuff. So other than that, why do I like the Tele? The size, ironically enough. So this is almost like a couch guitar. It's very, very comfortable. I can hold it on a classical, manner. Very, very easy, from that perspective. So it's like a couch guitar. It's almost like a parlor-sized guitar to me. I'm not a small guy, and I can play stuff like 17-inch, and I've even played 18-inch guitars. But this is very comfortable. Okay, so that's important to me from that perspective. The other main thing is the price point, and this is really, really important. So growing up, guitars were very expensive. Okay, nowadays there's tons and tons and tons of guitars. So you got something like my Tajima, and they're all over with Teles. So you can spend thousands and thousands of dollars on boutique Teles. There are things like Asher Teles, Lens Teles, custom shop Teles, over 5,000. Obviously the vintage stuff, the Nolecasters and the original broadcasters are $25,000, $50,000, $60,000. You can get nuts in that. But having said that, because of the simplicity of the instrument, let me just bring this in there. You got something like this, which is my what is this? My Tajima. That's an under $250 guitar, and the thing sounds great. So, but basically, for under $300, you can get a quality instrument that you can gig with, that you can practice with, that you can learn on the instrument. So there are very few things you can't really get. I shouldn't say that. I have tried. If you know what you're doing and you do your research, you can find an archtop for like a Washburn. I think like a J6 Washburn for about $300 used. But you gotta really know what you're doing when you're looking for that, because I've come across some things that are amazing deals that you can dial in it, or you gotta know how to set up things, or you gotta go to somebody who can set it up properly. That's not really the case with Teles. They're so simple that you can get one out of the box with minimal setup, changing the strings and adjusting the action, maybe a pickup swap. This thing, I haven't switched anything yet on this stuff, and it just sounds great. And the same thing with the Firefly Tele that I have, So yeah, I've got a Nash Tele, I've got Fenders and all that stuff, and they cost a lot more. But really, price point is very, very key. And the last thing is the aesthetics of these things. So Teles are beautiful, okay? They're just gorgeous. And you see people that put Floyd Rose, Bixby's on that stuff, paisley colored, and because of the solid stuff, you can get stuff that looks really nice. You can't even tell this. So this is just absolutely gorgeous. This is like a sonic blue that this video does not do justice to, okay? It's absolutely beautiful, right? It looks sort of white underneath the light, and love the way it looks. Having said that, you got something like this, my Nash Tele. That's just, that's just like, look at that. And they did a great job with the relic. I mean, I did a video on the hokiness of relicing, but this is just gorgeous, okay? And if you ever really play an H guitar, man, the history that it tells you, it's just beautiful. So anyway, so the aesthetics. So there you have it. Those are my lists. I can't remember it all, why I love Teles. Everything from the simplicity, the durability, the price point, the aesthetics, and so on and so forth. So thank you for watching, and get yourself a Tele, or get yourself several Teles. Take care. Bye now.